What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? How y'all doing? For the YouTube family that doesn't know me, it's comedian Mo Green. I'm trying something different, man. I got a three hour drive ahead of me right now. So I just wanted to try something different. I don't know why I decided to try to do this today, because it's like 97 degrees and I got my air conditioner just blowing on my feet, because if I have it blowing up top, then all the wind will take away from the sound on the video or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So I gotta kind of just be bootlegged and ghetto. But this is not sponsored by Red Bull. This is my favorite Red Bull, coconut. It's delicious. But really, why did, like, I don't understand. It'd be like tight spaces and like it's a lot of construction out here, and like people will still drive fast and swerve and weave and do all this crazy stuff. But anyway, this is a new up and coming YouTuber. He's pretty cool. His name is he goes by the name of Manly Gossip. He's from Canada, I believe, and but I think he's really from the U.S., like down south or something like that. But he makes decent content in the black sector of YouTube. You know, he talks about different YouTubers like Kevin Samuels, Kwame Brown, Tommy Sotomayor, you know, the usual suspects if you're interested in this black sector. So it was this particular, I think he has a lot of potential. You know what I mean? I think he makes great points, and he has great topics. But mainly gossip, man, like I'm gonna just let the video play and then I'll give you my critique. But for the most part, I love where you're coming from. But in this particular video, there's some guy named, like, a lot of people just like to call Kevin Samuels gay, and they never really contend his points or anything like that. And he says he don't got no bitches. Some people don't like to show their women on Front Street like that. You know what I'm saying? Because the moment you do, people gonna figure out who she is, throw all kinds of salt, and try to ruin your relationship. So I can understand why people don't do that. At any rate, this is a quick clip. So I'm gonna drop this. I'm gonna play this video in the background. Hopefully this comes out good, and then I'll just give my play-by-play. So here's go to YouTube, type in Manly Gossip, and subscribe to him. I don't know why I'm stuttering and stuff like that. It's just hot. You know, I don't got no AC blowing in my face. My face is bald and shiny or whatever. But I'm gonna play it and then give my take. So here it goes.
Boom, I'm back at it again, and I got a video on Charleston White talking about Kevin Samuels. And I'm going to give my opinion on it, and I'm going to let y'all watch the part he said, the things he said about Kevin Samuels. But pretty much in the video, he's talking about how can Kevin Samuels tell women how to be women. You know what I'm saying? He said he feel like Kevin Samuels is a homosexual. He said his mannerism.
Pause. And this is not what Manly Gossip is saying, but Kevin Samuels isn't telling... Kevin Samuels is not telling women how to be women. He's basically saying, not basically, what he's saying is certain men in a certain tax bracket like these types of qualities from women. He's not telling women how to be anything. If a woman wants to have certain types of men in certain types of tax brackets, then this is how they need to be. But he's not telling them to do that. He's just saying what these individuals like. You understand what I'm saying? He's saying what these individuals like. He's not telling them to do anything. Let's go.
Say on that accident, you know the classic thing he did when he asked the man how big his dick was. I mean, that right there tells you a lot.
Now, all right, the whole situation about Kevin Samuels when he asked the dude, does he have a big dick? Yes, the question was out of pocket. Yes, that's not something that you say to a man, but it was obviously shock value. And the point that Kevin was trying to make is, the dude was 20 years old, over 300 pounds, barely doesn't even make $1,000 a month. So he asked him, do you have a big penis? And the reason why he asked him that question, it was like, you don't have any of these things. At the minimum, be able to hold it down in the bed with the chick, and you can't even hold it down with her as far as sexually. So why should any woman want to talk to you when you don't got no money, you're out of shape, and you're not packing? That's what he wasn't saying it on some, oh, I'm trying to see what you have so we can hook up or whatever. He was doing it to illustrate a point. And I think he was vibing that the dude probably wasn't endowed. That's why he asked that question. Because the dude could be like, yeah, I'm packing. So he said, well, because if the dude would have been like, yes, I'm packing, Kevin probably would have been like, well, damn, like, hey, at least you got something to knock her out the box with. So that, like, I hate how people are like misconstrue that particular instance and situation as a means to say, oh, he's gay. People say shocking shit on the internet all the time. Oh, so somebody say, I'm gonna kill your mother, I'll kill your family. Does that mean they're a murderer? No. People be making all types of like pedophile jokes towards people's kids that they beefing with on YouTube. Does that mean that they're pedophiles? No, that just means that they're assholes. That means that they lack tact. But just because you say something on the internet that's out of pocket, that does not necessarily define you as a person. That doesn't mean that's what you are. So just because he inquired about the man's penis, it doesn't necessarily mean that he's gay. But let's continue.
Man tells another man how big your dick is. Charles might say he feel like he a fucking sissy, a fucking homosexual. He feels like a man should be telling a man to do and a woman should be telling a woman to do. He pretty much saying it's a difference. He said that that's why.
Again, Kevin Samuels is not telling people what to do. He's telling people what people like and what people want. Like McDonald's doesn't tell you, oh, come buy these burgers. Come buy, Wendy's doesn't tell you to come buy the Baconator. They just put it on display. This is what we have. If you like it, you come in and you consume it. If you don't, you just don't fuck with it. Probably was a bad analogy, but you get what I'm saying. But let's continue.
Kevin Samuels don't have the credentials. He feel like Kevin Samuels one of them type of dudes who tell women what he really wants. So he said when he's telling, Charleston White feels when Kevin Samuels is telling the women what kind of man they need, that's the kind of man that Kevin Samuels wants.
Pause.
I know it's a lot of...
Pause. That statement that Charleston White said makes absolutely no sense. That makes absolutely no sense. He's telling like, why would Kevin Samuels teach women if Kevin Samuels is attracted to a certain type of man, right? And Kevin Samuels only wants these type of men. Why would he give women advice on how to get the men that he likes? That doesn't make no fucking sense. You know what I'm saying? That's like me. I work at a Toyota dealership, and I got like a certain type of car, but then I tell you like how to buy Mercedes Benzes. You know what I'm saying? Something that's not even related. That analogy probably was off or whatever. But basically, if you have something that you really like and you want to be exclusive, okay, better analogy. That's like you got these exclusive pair of Jordans or something like that, and you don't want nobody else to have it. If you didn't want nobody else to have these exclusive type of Jordans, then why would you tell people how to get them? That doesn't make no sense. That's a better analogy, by the way.
People out here to look up to Kevin Samuels. I don't care about his sexuality, but come on, his mannerism tells you a lot about him. He does have some sissy-body ways and shit. And usually when you come in Kevin Samuels...
Pause. And Kevin Samuels definitely has some effeminate ways, but he admits that he was raised by women. And the thing is, in the hood, the thing is like black people, we got this like hyper masculinity, and if we ain't acting all hard and all thug and drooling when we speak, you know what I'm saying, spit coming down our chin and like, yo, you know what I'm saying, what's good? Like, if we're not acting like that, people just assume we gay. I got on cargo pants and sandals because it's hot as fuck. Niggas in the hood, they look at my sandals like, they probably think I'm gay or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I make a lot of gay jokes. People think I'm gay. People, they just run to the gay shit and they want to label you as such when they can't really understand you. You know what I mean? So in the hood, we're labeled as gay or whatever because we wear a suit and a tie and we wear cologne and we want to get manicures and pedicures and keep ourselves fresh and clean and not curse every other word. Like, this is something that our culture really needs to abandon. You look at other cultures like the Indian cultures, the Hispanic culture, Asian culture. A lot of times they're like people like in the hood, we refer to them as effeminate because they ain't acting all hard and all tough and they carry themselves a certain way. But we need to stop doing that shit. We need to abandon just calling every single situation gay just because it ain't no super thug Wu-Tang Clan mid-90s baggy jeans wearing shooting up the cops type situation. That's fucking bullshit. And the irony of the whole situation is usually the motherfuckers that act the hardest, the motherfuckers that act the toughest and I hate gays and all that shit, be the gayest ones on the fucking low. You saw that movie A Beautiful Mind with Kevin Spacey? But whatever. Let me continue.
People try to attack you and shit. They try to attack you and make up for him. Like, you looking up to this man like he your father or something. Like, if a motherfucker got feminine ways like a fag, what the fuck you get mad about? Charles and White don't get.
And the thing is, okay, let's say Kevin Samuels is a homosexual and he has effeminate ways. Does him having effeminate ways invalidate the advice that he's given? He's like, yo, if you got a certain type of money, you know what I mean? Most men with a certain type of bread at a certain age, if they don't have kids, they would rather start their own family. He's saying, don't have children until you're married or in a financial position with a good person to take care of the child together. He's saying, ladies, it's better if you have a child before you're 35, because after 35, that's geriatric pregnancy, and it runs the risk of you having birth defects, or you even possibly dying, or just dealing with a special needs child. He's saying when you walk out of the house, don't wear bonnets and stuff like that. Like, make yourself, you don't have to be suited and booted, but make yourself clean and presentable. How you leave the home is a representation of yourself. So how do you want people to view you and receive you? So whether you're gay or not, good advice is good advice, regardless of if you're gay or not. But let's continue.
But fuck, you talking about all these manly men that's been out on television, and now they trying to change things for Kevin Samuels, his high value man. That goes back to that rainbow shit, this damn rainbow clique shit, because they want to push that agenda to kids and make us think it's cool to be feminine. So you got Kevin Samuels out.
No. If you look at Kevin Samuels, the way he carries himself, and you look at a RuPaul, do you really think that's on the same level? It's not the same as suave and debonair. The reason why y'all calling it feminine, because a lot of us are ignorant and not educated, and all we see our entire lives is just hood bullshit. When I first moved here from New Jersey, right, to Connecticut, motherfuckers used to make fun of me because I spoke properly. I used to get bullied because I was able to fully enunciate words and sentences. I literally had to dumb myself down just so that motherfuckers wouldn't attack me as much. And that's the thing, a lot of us in the hood, like, we're so, and this is no diss to you, Manny Gossip, I think you're younger than me, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, if you haven't really been exposed to different things in life, you'll have a myopic or a limited view on certain things. But just because you ain't carrying yourself like a super nigga and a thug, doesn't mean that you're promoting homosexuality. To say that Kevin Samuels is promoting homosexuality is fucking disingenuous, because he's advising men and women to get married together. And he's advising women to choose dudes of a higher caliber and not have kids before a certain age and not have kids before marriage. And he's advising men to do the same thing. What homosexual do you know is doing that? Promoting hetero relationships? I'll wait. You ain't never seen RuPaul do no shit like this. Come on, man. Let's go.
He'll help him push that fucking agenda. In my mindset, I feel like he's pushing the agenda.
No, he's not.
No,
he's not. No, he's not.
Like a woman.
No, he's not. He's not telling people to dress suave. He's not telling people to get candles. This is just his personal presentation. But he is saying, work out, take care of yourself, be clean. You don't gotta be suited and booted. Look at TK Kirkland. That's a prime example. He's not suited and booted every day, but I kind of took his swag a little bit. He'll have on like a nice t-shirt, some clean sneakers, a nice little chain, you know what I'm saying, some earrings if you wear it or whatever that you into. But he's not pushing that at all. Just because he's wearing a suit, he's not telling nobody to wear suits or have certain fragrances or candles or anything like that. He not screaming no gay pride. You don't see him saying yes. You don't see no flags in the background. And the thing is, this society is so accepting of homosexuals. This day and age is the perfect time to be an out homosexual, because society is so accepting of it. So if he was gay, why the fuck would he hide that shit? Gay people make millions. I mean, on a side topic, I think Tyler Perry is kind of covering that shit up. And look how much the black community accepts him and receives him. And to me, he's clearly a queen. And they still accept him. You know what I mean? And Tyler Perry worth over $500 million. I think Kevin Samuels is worth like $3 million. If Kevin was really gay and he really came out, why would he limit his money by keeping that shit a secret when he could fucking team up or be on Tyler Perry's level? It makes no sense. It's not logical. Y'all gotta stop being so close-minded and myopic. It's bullshit. Let's go.
Up here telling you what kind of motherfucking man you need and telling us that we gotta be high-value men. I appreciate...
He's not telling us we need to be high-value men. That's the thing. Nowhere is he saying, yo, get in shape, work 60 hours a week, do X, Y, Z. No, he's explaining what high-value men are. And just because you're a high-value man, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're a good person. And just because you're not a high-value man, that doesn't mean that you're a bad person. He's just describing, based on his clientele, what a high-value man is and what they like. But just because you describe what something is, does not mean that you're telling people to be that. Let's go.
Thanks for exposing these women who want these men with a lot of money. But at the same time, some of his shit you can't listen to. Like, I don't agree with that.
Yo, real talk. And I think me and you, mainly gossip, because you gonna watch this or whatever, but I think me and you, we touched on this in one of your comments. He don't really expose the women. The women expose themselves, bruh. They the ones that's calling them up. They the ones that, like, so many women are fucking delusional and think just because they're born with a vagina that every single man that they're interested in on earth should want them regardless of what they do, whether they work out, whether the woman works out, whether she fat as a motherfucker, whether she get money, it doesn't matter because she's a pussy and because she has a pussy and it is a man's natural desire and inclination to want to be with a woman, then whoever she desires, that should come into her life. No, it's chicks that work out, that work hard, and they bust their ass to get the type of men they get. This chick working out 20, 25 hours a week. She's agreeable. She took etiquette classes, Toastmasters, all this shit. And you mean to tell me that chick that worked that hard, and you got this fat ass bitch, and they both could get the same man? Hell no, that's bullshit. Because if that's the case, the chick that really worked out, why is she busting her ass and stressing herself? Listen, in life, the way this world works, the energy you put into the situation is the things that you get out. The more you put into it, the more you get out of it. But the thing is, a lot of these fucking women that don't try to do anything with their life as far as like physical and stuff like that, they expect things to be handed to them. And in some ways, a lot of times I was entitled to when I was younger and more handsome and, you know, chicks were just coming to me or whatever. I got older and I got fatter, but I still had the mentality like these bitches should be coming to me and like, no, I got to work out. I got to get in shape. I got to do what I got to do. And I've been doing that. And now I got a better woman. I'm not saying because of that, but it definitely helps. But let's continue. Let's go. I don't play when it comes to this YouTube shit, man. Y'all going to start hearing the Mo Green voice. Let's go.
Everything Charleston White say, but I understand that he feels like this is a feminine-ass man. Charleston White said Kevin Samuels can't keep a woman. He don't got a woman. And he don't got nothing to bag him up. Like,
yo, how do you... Now, and this is not towards you, Manly Gossip, but the Charleston White dude. How do you know? Motherfuckers believe everything that they see on YouTube and social media. They believe everything they see. So what they see, if they don't see a woman, they automatically assume that you don't got no bitches. Some people don't like to, and I said this earlier in the video, some people don't like to put on blast their significant others because a lot of y'all are some hating ass motherfuckers and the first thing you'll do is dox motherfuckers and ruin a relationship, spread rumors, you know what I'm saying, do Photoshop and all this different types of fuck shit and bullshit. So I can understand why a lot of people don't put their relationships on blast. So just because you don't see something on social media does not mean they have it. Just like or an analogy, just because you see a bad, beautiful bitch and you having sex with her and you don't use a condom, just because she's beautiful, don't mean she might not have AIDS. Let's go.
Women are listening to you because they feel like you a fucking woman too. I'm looking at the situation like,
no, these women is, well, you know what? I could kind of vibe with that. I think a lot of times women are more accepting to like a male that they carry themselves a little more sassy. Women do like gay friends and stuff like that, and they probably are more comfortable because he comes off as a little bit more effeminate. But I think that's better for the manosphere, right? Because we need somebody in position that's able to kind of blend in with their ilk to spread this motherfucking message. We need that shit. If he was on some hardcore, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think, like, I'll give you a problem. Minister Jack is like, Kevin Samuels on 10 as far as how he attacks the women. He's very hilarious, very intelligent. But the thing is, because he's so abrasive, his numbers aren't as big because he's not as palatable. So sometimes you have to be like a chameleon of sorts in order for people to appreciate where you're coming from. You understand what I'm saying? So if he acting a little bit sweet, whatever, he said he was raised by women. Usually men that are raised particularly by, I was raised by women. Like people say I have effeminate ways or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So when you come from a certain demographic and background, you might have like certain tendencies, but that doesn't necessarily dictate your sexuality, man. You gotta stop being so immature and stop being so fucking closed-minded. But let's go.
How the hell you gonna listen to Kevin Samuels when I ain't seen Kevin Samuels with a woman? I'm not saying
you don't know if he got a woman or not.
But after his marriage, I mean, come on now.
He got married twice.
You gonna be giving that kind of, you gonna be giving relationship advice. At least show us you can get a woman. If I
really don't take what Kevin Samuels says as relationship advice because he's not telling you how to maintain a good relationship. All he's saying is, this is what high value men like in women. That's all he's saying. That's all he's saying at the crux of everything.
Relationship,
let's go.
Advice and stuff like that. I'm gonna have a woman. At least I would like put my relationships out there a little bit. And you look at people like AMF.
Again, man. It's a slippery slope. Oh, shit. It's a slippery slope to put your relationships on blast. It's a very slippery slope to put your relationships on blast because motherfuckers out here is grimy, man. People are fucking grimy, man. You know what I'm saying? But let's go.
Yes. He lets you know he get women. So he can spit that shit on being a player because he lets you know what he's doing. Mm-hmm. You got so many people out here, man, they ain't never showed you no goddamn woman, but they goddamn players. Kevin Samuels got all the information on what a woman should want and what a high value man is, but goddamn, where your motherfucking woman at? Oh, that's all I'm saying, man. Charleston White got a point, man. But make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe my content so I can get out here. And you know what I'm saying? Let me know in the comment section what you think about what Charleston White said, man. He was speaking some real shit and some facts too. But I want y'all to remember something. I'm still that nigga. Y'all can't fuck with me.
Yo,
Kevin.
Manly Gossip, that was you know, that was your commentary before the actual video. But what I was gonna say is I don't know, I gotta play the rest. It's like 3 minutes and some change left. You make good content. You make definitely good content. I'm gonna let this dude's bullshit ass breakdown play or whatever, Charleston White, whatever, and then I'm gonna get into it because for some reason I thought that was the end of the video, but it's got about 3 more minutes. So all right, let's go. But I fucks with you, Manly Gossip. I fuck with your content, bro.
Samuels, right? I'm not gonna lie, I'm not too familiar with him, but you was going off on him one day, and I was eating breakfast, and I just was dying laughing.
Yeah, I saw half of one of the video.
And this is a guy.
And that's the thing. How could you make a complete judgment on an individual just by watching partial information? We need to really, not even as black people, as people in general, we need to really stop doing that shit, man. That shit is corny, man. Let's go.
Relationships?
Man, I don't know what he speak on. Look like he just speak on women. You know,
see, like, this nigga don't even know what the fuck he talk about. So how could you even give an opinion? You doing bits and pieces. You watching not even a trailer. You watching a 1 minute clip of a year-long series, not a movie. You watching a 1 minute clip of a year-long series, and then you trying to give a full opinion. You shouldn't even talk about it. You know what? Let me do a little bit more research before I comment on this brother. But let's go.
What kind of man she can't get based on the body side. Say, you can't get the whole interview because then that'll take away from what he doing.
And Kevin Samuels is not saying that certain body types can't get certain types of men. Kevin Samuels is saying that certain high quality types of men would prefer to marry certain women with certain body types. But any bitch could get fucked. Niggas fuck all kinds of bitches. They ain't saying much. Let's go.
But nah, homie, I saw how I saw him ask a nigga how big is this? Do we got to?
We already talked about the penis thing, so I'm not even worried about this part.
And
already talked about it. Already talked about it. It's out of out of context. Out of context. Out of context.
His traits.
Out of context.
His pictures, his poses. Yeah,
that's another thing.
Like a homosexual.
Kevin Samuels is a Kappa. A lot of Kappas, they carry themselves in them pretty boy ways, and you know what I'm saying. They think they beautiful. You know what I'm saying. A lot of them carry themselves that way, and have the certain poses. I used to take a lot of pictures. I got big ass lips with a big ass top lip, and everybody thought I was making duck faces. No, that's naturally my face. And I was a huge fan of Brian McKnight. Brian McKnight on his album covers and shit used to always make the smooth faces. So I call myself trying to be like Brian McKnight, making smooth faces and shit. But the picture the picture doesn't always tell the entire story, man. So let's go. Dumb hood niggas that only been around hood shit they whole fucking life think everything is gay, and that shit is sad as fuck.
And in my mind, what kind of men can't correct women, homie. Steel sharpens steel.
Yo, anybody can correct anybody. There are male teachers, there are female teachers. There are male pastors and priests, there are female pastors and priests. If you get out of line, or if you're out of pocket, and if somebody's an adult, you gonna get corrected. It don't matter if it's a male or a female. What the fuck are you talking about? Who taught you this shit, man? Let's go.
Iron sharpens iron.
There
should be no man.
That should have nothing to do
in the group with the cheerleaders, telling the cheerleaders how to be better cheerleaders.
That's a poor analogy.
There should be no dance coach,
poor analogy,
drill team leader over with the boys telling the boys how to be better men.
I mean, but if you want to go with that whack ass analogy, you got women that are NFL assistant coaches, and then you have women that are college basketball coaches. You understand? You got men that are WNBA coaches. You got dudes that are on cheerleading teams, holding the chicks up and stuff like that. One of my best friends, one of my mentors back in the day, he was the head cheerleading coach at UConn. So you don't know what you talk about, but that's the thing. When you just got a hood mentality and you're in this fucking whack ass bubble, you haven't really been anywhere outside of a 10-mile radius in your city, both physically or maybe just mentally. You're just in this box and you only listen to rap music or some shit like that and follow the fucking hip hop, the limited as hip hop culture. You know what I'm saying? Then you think bullshit like this, man. Let's go.
They go. Grandmother and them need to be over there talking to them women.
Foster, I'm down to talk this Kevin Samuels shit though.
Telling them women how to be better women, how to get a better man. How can he tell a woman?
He never tells them how to be better. He just tells the women what these men, high value men, like. And this high value men only represent, I think, 1% of the earth or 10%. I can't remember. There's still 90% of men and various good guys that these women could choose from. But they think average is a bad thing. And I did another video before saying that average is kind of condescending. I think Kevin Samuels' message would hit a little bit better if he said adequate. But I understand why he uses the word average, because it is definitely a trigger word that causes conversation and that gets your attention. I think if he uses the word adequate, people wouldn't follow it as much. I think he likes the fact that it sounds kind of divisive and it sounds a little condescending, because that's a part of the entertainment. You know what I mean? If he just said the right thing 100% of the way, he wouldn't have as big of a following that he has. But let's continue.
What kind of man she go get? Pretty is his ass pretty does. He sound like the type of nigga just from talking to the women. I make this kind of salary. You want a 6-figure man? Well, sound like those men buying women, the mail order type brothers, right?
Now that I do agree with. There are a lot of men who do use their money and their finances as compensation for having no type of game. But those men is getting divorced in a couple of years. Gary Owen. Now, I'm not saying he got no swag in it like that, but the way Kendra Duke, I'm gonna do a video on this, the way she dragging him through the mud right now, I know he is regretting fucking with hood black bitches, even though I think he said that she came from like a good neighborhood and stuff like that, but she's definitely showing like hood like qualities. But there's definitely men that do that just because you got a lot of money. And Kevin Samuels, see, that's why these niggas don't, I know they're not listening to this dude. They don't know his material. Because Kevin Samuels says just because you have a lot of money does not necessarily mean that you're high value. A lot of these rich motherfuckers and NBA stars and shit like that, they don't gotta spend money. The bitches just wanna be a part of your vibe. And you don't gotta spend nothing, they just throwing themselves at you. I forget who said it, but a lot of celebrities say the richer you get, the more stuff, like the higher you are and the more money you have, the more that people just give you stuff for free. It's the weirdest fucking phenomenon. But let's continue.
And then what type of nigga do women listen to and he ain't got no bitch?
Again, you don't know if he don't got no bitches. So stop saying that. Stop basing your conclusions on the limited information that you have presented in front of you. And again, what the fuck? Even if he don't got no bitches, is what he's saying false? Even if he got no bitches, is what he's saying false? Let's continue.
No bitch pay no nigga no mind. He ain't got no woman his goddamn self. This nigga single, been divorced twice. What the fuck?
You don't know. And he's been married twice. I don't know your situation or whatever, so I'm not gonna say are you married or nothing like that. But he did a lot of things that a lot of black men never did, and women, was get married. And he did that shit 2 times at young ages. We be 37 years old. I don't know. I gotta wait a little longer. I'm still too young. At least he made the attempt and he tried. A lot of us don't even have the guts or the balls to even make a commitment with somebody and get married with him. This motherfucker did it twice. Let's continue.
Kill anybody.
That's like you talking shit about Charles Barkley. Like, yeah, you lost. You went to the NBA Finals and you lost. Or Gary Payton, you went to the NBA Finals. So, well, he won one, but before he won one, you went to the NBA Finals 2 times and you lost. You ain't shit. But Gary Payton still went to the NBA Finals. Your ass didn't even make it into the league. How you gonna talk shit about somebody that made it to the league and made it to the dance? Motherfucker, you didn't even get redshirted in middle school. You gonna try to shit on somebody that actually was in the big dance and that made an attempt to fucking have a relationship with a black woman? Come on, man. Let's go, man. Y'all can't fuck with me with this debate and shit.
Right here telling these women something. And so they said, right, baby. Yeah, he right. Yeah, he can't talk like that. Yeah, he got to get his woman out there to talk with him. But now he sound like a sissy.
That's bullshit. That's complete and utter fucking bullshit. Especially, I already talked about this earlier, especially how the way y'all motherfuckers dox and try to ruin people's relationships and ruin people's lives, man. Kudos to the people that bring their women to the forefront, but the type of material that Kevin is doing as far as with relationships is so dicey, and it could be viewed as so divisive that him bringing his woman in the forefront, excuse me, just like he don't go back and forth with YouTubers and argue, it's good that he doesn't bring him, because it's not about him. The thing is, he's putting out certain things of what high value men like in women. That has nothing to do with him. He is merely just a messenger. He's merely relaying a message. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's like in the Roman times and shit, somebody will come from another kingdom to give a message like there's going to be so and so blah 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 in war, and then you fucking kill the messenger. We always try to kill the messenger. Jesus was just a messenger, spreading the message. His own fucking people killed him, man. This is what we do. This shit is sad, B. Alright, but let's go.
Yeah, bashing women because he can't get him a good man. Yeah, he's
nah. And this doesn't make sense. He said he bashing women because he can't get a good man. That makes absolutely no fucking sense. I'm telling you, dumb, uneducated motherfuckers, they get in front of a camera and they don't know what the hell they talking about, and they're not making any type of sense. Why would you bash women because you can't get a good man? You know how horny men are? You know how many gay people is out there that's proud? He live in Atlanta. You know how many gay dudes is out there that he can fucking, this motherfucker got more access to dicks than fucking Jennifer Lopez out in this bitch. So why would he bash women because men are giving him a hard time? That don't make no fucking, what are you talking about? Let's go.
It ain't no such thing as a high value man. God made only one kind of man.
Now with that statement, he said ain't no such thing.
Yeah, he only made one kind of man, nigga.
Ain't no such thing. I see what he's saying. Like basically I think he was trying to say that we're all created equal. We all have a potential, but there's definitely people on different levels. You know what I'm saying? There's definitely people like there's a class system. There's definitely some individuals that get more out of life because they put more into life. There's definitely levels to this shit. There's certain people, like even the dude that's talking, there's certain people that you would do business with, and there's certain people that you won't. that you won't do. You know what I'm saying? You said there's no such thing as a high value man, but I bet you see a snitch or a pedophile or a murderer as less than a person that's not. So skip me with that bullshit. Let's go, man.
Man, nigga, ain't no such thing as a motherfucking high value man.
Already
Niggas
disproved
ain't
it.
got dirt up on their fingernail, can't chop no wood.
I already disproved it.
Yeah, and they ain't got plenty of hoes. Yeah. The high value man normally got one bitch, and the elephant man got plenty of women.
You said women like men with pimples on his face and beard, and sometimes don't have a haircut.
Man, you saw George Jefferson, did you see
Women just like energy and a vibe. Being a high value man just puts you in a certain position to make it easier for you to get a certain type of woman. But any bitch could get bagged by anybody, though. That's a fact. It's just that it makes it easier if you're in a different situation. I'll give you an analogy. Like, I could drive to Florida, or I could take a plane to Florida. Taking a plane will get me to Florida faster, or it's easier to get to Florida in an airplane than a car. You understand what I'm saying? But if I had my choice, I would rather want the easier trip than the rougher road. If I had my choice, I think that's a pretty good analogy. But let's go.
Devin, you saw what's the other motherfucker name on Urkel, that daddy. The other motherfucker, our Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Did you see his daddy? Bill Cosby. Them wasn't the handsomest man in the world. But you see what I'm talking about?
Yo, Kevin Samuels never equates being handsome as a man to being a part of being high value. Kevin Samuels, he says take care of your body, be in shape, but he never says anything about the looks. So you guys obviously are speaking from the basis of limited information, and it makes you, I don't want to insult you guys, but you sound naive. You're not, you're being naive and uninformed because you're speaking from a position of limited information. Let's go.
They done give us all these kind of men on what to look like. Now this nigga here show up and they trying to discredit James Evans. Nigga, think about James Evans.
No, they're not trying to discredit James Evans. And the thing is, Kevin Samuels always says there's nothing wrong with being an average man. He asks the women, like, if all you want is $100,000 high value 10%, then basically you're shitting on 90% of the other men on earth. And that's fucked up because there's some really good men that don't fit that quote unquote high value standard. So he's actually exposing them. Kevin is not saying that this is what you have to be. He's saying this is what they want, and 90% of the women on earth are attracted to only 10% of the men. So that's why there's a huge imbalance, man. There's way more women getting fucked than dudes getting pussy. And that's some real shit. That's just basic, and it has to be that way. I did this in an old video. Women gotta kind of be standoffish because I feel like if more women was more hoes and just giving up the pussy indiscriminately, we probably have 15 billion people on the earth. So you kind of need that balance. So I kind of get it, but I'm destroying these dudes, man. This shit is easy, man.
That was a man. That was a man's man, nigga. James Evans,
Kevin Samuels never
So there's a clip on the.
Hey, but that was the video. That was pretty much it. Manly Gossip. It was another video you was doing something, but yo, I think you do great content, brother, man. I definitely wouldn't mind collabing with you and having like a debate or a discussion on some of these things. I seen you go back and forth with Tommy a couple times and, you know, calling them names and stuff like that. I get it. If that's how you want to rock with the channel, that's how you want to do it. That's how you want to do it. But even if you take Kevin Samuels as an example of how he conducts himself with other YouTubers, or just other YouTubers that are very successful in general, you'll notice that they don't go back and forth and talking all this shit and the cussing. Like, my logic and my philosophy, if what I say will potentially cause us to have a fight in real life, I don't like to fight. I'll defend myself, but I don't like to fight and be in drama and stuff like that. So if what I say can cause that in real life, I'm not going to be fake and do that shit on this shit. Not saying that you won't. I'm just saying how I operate and how I move. But if that's how you want to do, that's how you want to move, man, bruh. You know, you got 600 subs right now. I got like 360 or something like that. Hey, man, listen. If you can get my audience, I can get yours. We'll both be closer to 1,000. But I really like what you're doing, man. I check your stuff. I hit the bell notification. I check your stuff every day. It's funny because, like, when we first started, when I first commented on you saying how Tommy looked old, and I said, you look older than the motherfucker, too. But you didn't even get mad at it. And I really appreciated that shit. And then we just kind of joked it off. And now every day I'm checking your videos and I'm really liking what you're doing. And you've actually inspired me to do like, this is my first reaction video that I've done in years. I did like an old one like years ago. But yo, bruh, just keep doing your thing. Keep pumping out that content, man. Just be a little bit more open-minded, man. Get out of like that macho box and realize just because black men or men in general don't carry themselves in a certain way in this hood, thugged out ghetto, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, fuck. That doesn't mean that the person's gay, man. That's all I'm saying. Because if that's the case, then I guess every black motherfucker in England, I guess Idris Elba is gay. Like every nigga from England, the nigga that was in Snowfall, I forget his name. I think his last name is Idris or Elba, whatever. That nigga. Who else? It's a lot of British black actors like that play American gangster black dudes. You know what I'm saying? I guess all the motherfuckers is gay. We really need to come off of that childish like mindset with that shit. But despite all that, man, bruh, keep doing your thing about to upload this shit because I got like another 2 hours to drive, so I got time to upload this motherfucker while I'm driving. And I'll holler at y'all. Follow Manly Gossip. You know what I'm saying? Follow his shit, like, share. If you got a Cash App, donate to his shit. As far as me, my YouTube family.